Every day when I walk in my store, when I walk in my pharmacy, what's the first thing that I still do, and it's something that I'm working on? It's dig right into distractions. I dig right into distractions. I open my email, I start taking calls, I start doing all sorts of things that really start adding up throughout my day, that just keeps distracting me, keeps taking my time from me. And eventually it starts hitting that point where it starts getting to be a little stressful, a little overwhelming. And I know if you're a pharmacist right now watching, I know you can agree with this. I know that no matter which pharmacy, which kind of retail setting you work in, we're constantly bombarded with other people's agendas, with other people's distractions, with other people's to-do lists that are put into our plate, and that we feel we have to take care of it right away, right? It creates this sense of urgency. You get an email from your supervisor, your boss, and they need something taken care of, and you're like, oh man, I got to take care of this right away. Or there's a customer service issue that was on, or there's a doctor waiting on the phone for you, or just anything. It starts building up urgency throughout the daytime, and a lot of us just start really getting stressed and overwhelmed or upset or whatever pattern we start going into. And today, I'm going to share with you ways that will pretty much guarantee, or at least help you start taking back control of your day. You could start planning your agenda, what you want to do more, if you just stick around with this video. So I hope I got you a little excited and engaged for the video here. So today I just want to talk to you about some recent things that I've been kind of training on, working on myself, of some studies that I've been doing with other kind of personal development people out there. And I just want to share with you for pharmacy, because a lot of stuff that's out there right now is geared for businesses, for people working in an office who can go sit down and spend 20 minutes thinking about their day. Like, we don't have that. A majority of us don't have that in a pharmacy. So I want to just share with you quick tools that pharmacists can use starting today, starting tomorrow, that you can just put into play right now, that you can start at least taking back some of your day, some of your agenda, so you are more in control of it. Because when we're in control of what we're doing, things get more fun. Like if you're riding on a motorcycle, it's much more enjoyable if you're on the front driving that thing than if you're on the back. Like my dad, when I was younger, he used to take me on his dirt bike, and man, I tell you, it's a totally different ride if you're hanging on the back to it versus if you're the driver, because you don't know what the heck's coming your way. But if you're the driver, you know what's going on. You're in control, and that makes it much more enjoyable for you. So I'm going to share with you 3 quick things that you could do today, tomorrow, whichever, that will literally change your whole approach to pharmacy. It could really just change your career, or at least help you in the short term and possibly in the long term, really start taking back control of your pharmacy career, because that's what we are. We're the pharmacists. We are the leaders in the pharmacy. And we don't want to seem like we're just always bouncing back and forth between everybody. I've talked about that before, but we're the leaders. So what can we do right now? So the first one I alluded to before is our email, okay? Studies have shown, I've heard this before, that some studies have shown that the first thing people do in the morning is they check their email. And then you get to work and you check your email. And then an hour or two later, you check your email, and you check your email, you check your email. You're in there all day because you think there's some message, but what's really email to us? What is email? It's most of the time, I've heard this explained before, most of the time it's somebody else's agenda. This is somebody else's agenda that they're sending them to, and we're constantly seeing what is other people's agenda coming at us. And most of the time, really, let's be honest, most of the time the emails we get, they don't have to be done right then and there. So that's one of the first things I'm going to share with you, is our email consumption. I'm a huge person who goes on his email way too much, and that's something I'm working on. That's something I'm sharing with you, that it's really starting to give me more of a feeling of satisfaction that I don't have to check other people's agenda all day long. It's my business. So that's the first one, is email. Second one is our phone calls. We get a lot of calls that we get. I don't have any studies or statistics, but just from my own history, really 25 to 30% of every call that I take is something that only I can answer, and the rest are really just something that can be left as a message that the technicians can take care of, that I don't have to answer. So, I used to work all day long taking all these calls, and then, say I have to talk to the pharmacist, is he there? And it turns out it was just, like a refill request, or it was a doctor's office calling to refill something. That's not something that I literally have to stop doing right then and there. That's something that either my team member could do, or the voicemail can do, or electronic prescriptions can do, or a fax can do. I mean, there's literally 20 different ways that could really solve that issue. So that's the second one, is just working with your team on helping you start to better screen your calls. I've had my team doing it. I've been doing it for the last year. I'll be honest with you, for the first month or two, it's tough for the team to sell it. And sometimes people want to talk to you directly, but after you get past that first couple weeks or a month or two, your life starts getting a lot easier when you're not taking calls that you don't even have to take. That frees up more time for you, and that makes you, you can check a voicemail on your time. You don't have to take every refill call, and that's taking back a little bit more control of your day. And the third pointer I just want to share with you that can definitely save you some time is really in the morning time, don't just go in and just start working right away. Just take a minute or two, just a minute or two, and think about what you want from this day. What do you want? What are your priorities that you want for the day? Is it something that, maybe you want to work on some of your CE credits at night? Have you been not talking to your team for the past 2 or 3 weeks? So maybe you just want to thank them for all the work they've been doing. Is there something you guys can celebrate? Is there something you can work on? You need to talk to your manager about things. But, don't start going through the to-dos. Start thinking about the bigger picture of what do you really want from the day? And ask that question. What do I want from my day? It's an easy question to remember. What do I want from my day? And try to stay away from the real big to-dos right then and there, but maybe just say something like, I want to make my team feel cared for or loved, or I want to make a special moment for my customers. Just take a minute or two to do it. I can't tell you how much of a difference that makes when you start setting up your day for what you want to happen. Because trust me, maybe it won't happen every day what your priorities are. Maybe calls will still come through that won't belong to you, but I tell you, once you start doing these little things, you might start freeing up 20 minutes in your day. For a pharmacist, that's huge. 20 minutes, that's like a 3-week vacation for us. So that's it right there. 3 simple steps of how you can start taking back control of your pharmacy, of how you can start taking back control of your pharmacy career and start focusing more on what's important to you, not what's important to somebody else. So I'm going to give you, I always believe that you never leave the sight of anything without first taking some kind of action towards achieving that result. So the first step I'm going to say is definitely tomorrow, think about how many times you check your email. I'm going to say try to check it maybe half as much tomorrow if you can, or even a third less, but do decide to cut down some amount on how often you check your email throughout the day. And you might not realize how often you check it. Maybe you don't check it at all. If you don't, you're probably not somebody who's even watching this video, because obviously you're a pharmacist who wants to do more and be more if you're watching these videos, or you need more help in certain different areas. So that's one of the things. Cut down on the amount of emails that you check throughout the day. Still check them, but you decide the time you do it. Don't always be on other people's agenda all day long. Secondly, start talking to your team about screening your phone calls, okay? Maybe just have them say, hey, is there something I can help you with? Or, hey, he's a little busy right now. Do you mind leaving a voicemail or something like that? There's usually some way to get around a majority of those calls that you get. And then that way you check your voicemails on your time when you feel like doing it. And then thirdly, tomorrow, today, whatever it is, go in 1 or 2 minutes early. Try to find a quiet place where you can just sit in your car and you're sitting there and just think about it. Just ask yourself, hey, what do I want from today? Why do I want it? Why do I want this for my day? Really, just doing 3 simple things like this can really just make a tremendous difference in your life. You can take back your career. You can have the career you wanted. I'm Jake Peplow. I am a results coach. I'm also an author. So if you're interested in more, please just definitely reach out to me, and I'd love to chat sometime. I hope these videos are helping, and I hope you make it a great day. Take care.